Hey, what's up, guys? This is CB33 here with a little guide on how to get started betting with us. So here we have Bovoda's main page. If you don't have an account, you're going to come over here and click join. Fill out everything except for the bottom part that says referral email address. You don't want to do that. It's basically a trap to steal your initial investment. If you have more questions about it, DM me and I'll be happy to answer them. So after you're done doing that, you'll do your deposit. I recommend doing deposits through Bitcoin. There's no fee for that, except if you're buying the Bitcoin through your wallet. Obviously, they're going to charge you a fee. But if you already have Bitcoin, I recommend just transferring over that Bitcoin into Bovoda. Most of the time, they'll give you a little bit more than what you like. Let's say I deposited $100. They'll give you more than $100 after your withdrawal goes through, and that's on Bovoda's end. I don't know why that happens. It just does. Like, it'll probably come out to like 103 something. If you use card, they charge a percentage. It's pretty hefty. I remember I did $1,000 deposit initially, and it was almost $100 what I got taxed. So I recommend doing Bitcoin deposits. Also, withdrawals with Bitcoin are very fast. They usually hit within 10-15 hours. So let's go to the bets that we place. We'll start with basketball. So here, the only game, well, we have two games today, Philly and Toronto. We'll break down what all these numbers mean right now. So we have the spread, the win column, also known as the money line, and the total, the point total for the whole game. So we'll go over and break down the spread first. You see the plus and the minus. The plus means that they're the underdog. The minus means that they're favorited. So with the Sixers being +6, you need them to win by, or you need them to lose by 5 or less for your money to hit. And then with the Raptors, you need them to win by 7 or more for the 6 to cover. You see this number on the side of the +6 and the -6? That represents the juice. So every $110 you put in, you'll get 100 back. That's what that number represents on the minus. Come over here to the money line, you see that plus number. That's for every $100 you bet, you'll get that in return. So it's different. Like right here, you see +210. Come down here, +170. So you put in 100, you'll win 170 here, win 210 up there. Pretty self-explanatory. The money line is just wins or loss. There's no points involved. So if the Sixers win, you'll get that +210 investment. And if the Raptors win, the minus number is for every 250 you win, you'll get $100. And you come down here, it's every 200 you win, you'll win $100. So that covers the spread and the money line. We'll go over to the totals. There's no plus or minus money on a straight total that's listed right here. It's always going to be just the -1 whatever. These are both 110, so 110 to win 100. If you go ahead and click on the teams, it'll bring you up to a different page, and there'll be more bets inside of here. You have alternate lines. I like running these, especially for halftime. You get some really good steals on here, and you don't pay that much extra in the juice. So I think they're very well worth time. So you'll see me post a lot of these. You'll just click on that. Scroll down through here. You'll see spread first half. These are alternate lines. So the juice is higher than the original one. I think they were, so it's 3.5 at 115 for the Sixers. Come down here. Where did it go? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. All right, so you see the numbers. The juice goes up as the more leeway they're given with points. That juice will go up, which makes it a riskier bet, because if you lose, you're losing, might not seem like a lot, but let's say you lose 5 bets, over a course of 2 days, and you're $100 better, and you're paying these $140 juices, that could come to bite you. It could add up really quickly. So be careful when you select these alternate lines as well. If you go down a little bit more, there's player props. It's important if one of us posts any bet on a player prop and you're looking to tail, that you lock it in before the game starts, because these will disappear exactly at the game time when it locks. So this is 5:05. So if you like post it, or someone posts something at 5, you hop on it. So that pretty much covers basketball. Yeah, these are all spread or player props. Yeah, that covers basketball. So we'll move over to baseball since that's what's in season. You also have a spread in baseball. It's called the run line. It's always going to be 1.5 runs. You have the plus or the minus. That doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be plus money behind it. Like right here, they're favorited to win the game, but it's plus 105 for them to win by 2. Baseball is a little riskier. You might think like, oh yeah, this team will win by 2, but you won't see me or 301 post a lot of these. We'll stick with the money lines. The money lines are just straight wins, so they could win by 1 run, and you'll get the $100 return if you put the 166 on the Yankees. If you go up to the top where Seattle is, if they win, $100 is going to get you 143. Over here, you have the run total. Run total, pretty self-explanatory. It's full game. Most of the time, they will have a half, so it doesn't push. That's how the books make their money, or a way they make their money. So, yeah, that covers the basics for baseball. I do a lot of 5-inning plays. You'll click on the teams again, and it will open up something. A 5-inning play, you might see it in your book called first half. They're both the same thing, just different names. You have the first half spread, or you have the first half money line. I usually go with the spreads since they're lower juice totals, but they are riskier plays. Let's say this game is tied at the end of 5 innings, and I picked Yankees -5. I'll lose that bet because they're not ahead by a half a run. But the Mariners bet would have hit if they were still tied because they're giving them a half run. I usually do the money line because of that reason. A lot of times, the starting pitchers are locked in and you won't, get a lot of runs in the first 5 innings, or it might be tied. You click the money line for the Yankees to win, or either team to win the first half. It's a draw. It's a push. You'll get your initial investment back. So I like doing it that way. It's a little less riskier, but yeah. So that pretty much covers baseball. Baseball is really simple. You really won't see anything besides money line plays. I'll post a few over-unders, maybe some run line plays if it's a smash spot, but they're very rare and they don't hit that often. They're very hard to predict. You have some player props for baseball. Player props to me in baseball are super risky. I just don't touch them. I just don't see value in them. So I'd hope you do the same. Yeah, so that's going to cover baseball. We'll go over to soccer. So with soccer, you have the spread, the money line, and the goal total. The only thing that's different with soccer from the previous 2 sports that we covered is in the money line column, there's a draw, and that adds a different, outlook to, or it adds a different, you look at the bet differently before going into it, knowing that, the game could draw. I actually read a couple weeks ago that like 35% of EPL games went to draw the past 2 years. So always keep that in mind. You might get a smash spot, but always keep in mind of the draw. And you can always hedge the draw live as well. So yeah, I'll get back to the spread minus 0.5. That just means they have to win by a goal, and you see the plus 120, so you'll get $120 back if you put in 100. Same thing with the money line. You got plus money on all 3. Pretty enticing. But yeah, that's basically it. You'll get this amount back off a $100 bet, and there you have the point total. Click on the game, you'll get first half options. That's what you call a pick 'em when you see 2 zeros like that. So that technically could count as the money line. They're kind of the same. Well, it is the same when it's a pick 'em, but the odds could be different. So like, let's say Well, this is a first half bet actually, so I'll explain this one. So if it's tied and you pick the first half spread for Ajax and it's tied, it would just push, so you would get your money back. But if you clicked for Ajax to win and it was tied, you would lose that one. You would lose that $100 because there's the tie factor in there. One way to get rid of this, if you don't want to have to worry about it tying or not, there's something called a no draw bet, or yeah, a draw no bet or no draw bet. They have that written wrong. And this is going to give you an opportunity to place a bet on the team to win without a draw being in factor. The juice is a little higher. So right here you have plus money for them to win with the draw. Without the draw, it's minus 165. So you got to put $165 to win that 100 instead of the 115. But to some people it's worth it because they don't think it's going to tie. So yeah, it's worth it for them. Same thing with Tottenham. They're plus 135 here without the draw and plus 230 if they win. So pretty significant difference, but the draw factor, everyone looks at it differently, but I personally would just go with the no draw bet just for safety. That pretty much covers everything. We do some NHL. The spreads are the same as baseball. They're always going to be a point and a half. You have the money line and then the totals. I really don't do alternate bets. You might see me post a first period bet. You would click on the two teams and come down here to the first period. Over under. I usually do first period over unders on hockey games. And yeah, that's about it. If you guys have any questions about anything else, just feel free to DM me. If I didn't cover anything that you want me to do, I could perhaps make you a video that could set you in the right way. So good luck and see you guys in chat.